I mean, well, let's don't wishy-washy about it. Is the NFL scripted or is it not?
Man, I think they got billions of reasons to have an interest in who's there.
Is the NFL scripted? And I'm going to yell it a little louder because I don't think you heard
Okay.
me. Is
Okay.
the NFL scripted or is it not?
Absolutely. There you go.
Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, so you're a flat earther, NFL scripted.
No, I'm
So we're
not.
going all the way that way.
I'm
All
not
the way
getting
with
into
the
all the other
conspiracy theory.
conspiracies, but sometimes when you start labeling yourself sports entertainment and there's billions of dollars on the line, I don't believe there's not some people, blowing some wind in the sail to make the boat move, if that makes sense.
Welcome to Big B Daily. No frauds allowed.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Big B Daily Show. This is your man, Big B, Brien Hanley. What is happening? So, we are having a good time this morning. We are live on TikTok. We are live on YouTube. What is going on, people? What is going on? So, TikTok, how you guys doing this morning, man? Appreciate everybody being here. Again, same thing as always. 5,000 likes, at least 30 new follows. So if you happen to be in here and you're not following, please give us a follow. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Thanks for showing up this morning. So, good topics today. Talking about the Chiefs, talking about NCAA parity, Draymond still being Draymond, and obviously we got our open mics. So, a lot of stuff that we're doing. As always, like I mentioned, anybody that's on TikTok that is following, click that YouTube link, man, and come on over and subscribe to YouTube. Be part of the show. Subscribe over there to BBall Sports Talk. Join the live. A lot of stuff that you get over there. So let's get it going. And keep tapping that screen, TikTok. Keep tapping that screen. First up, man, who is going to stop the Chiefs from three-peating? Who is going to stop them? I mean, first of all, are the 49ers going to get back? Can they get back? We know the record of teams when you lose the Super Bowl, the chances of that team getting back. Heck, a lot of years they don't even make it back to the playoffs, much less get back to the Super Bowl. That's number one. Number two, who else is there? I mean, can the Bills do it? Can the Lions get out of the NFC and do it? I think Philly's hit a wall. I think Philly's going to end up falling apart, so I don't think they're viable. A lot of people are saying Harbaugh, I still got to see them win a playoff game before I say they're going to knock off the Chiefs. Just win a playoff game first. Do that, and then we can talk about you beating the Chiefs. A lot of people say the Ravens. The Ravens are close. We'll see what the Ravens have after this offseason. I think they still need some more weapons. Lamar still got to get it together. If they can keep the defense together, Patrick Queen is a free agent, and they didn't give him a fifth-year option, so we'll see about that, even though he was an all-pro. So we'll find out. It's just there's a lot of things, man, that go into it. But the main thing is, are the Chiefs going to stick together? I think that's the first part of this. Or are the Chiefs going to stick together? So are the Chiefs, for instance, are they going to sign back L'Jarius Sneed? Are they going to sign back Chris Jones? It's tough to get both of them. It'll be tough to get both. One's going to have to get franchised. I'm quite sure of that. Who do you guys sign? Let me just ask you, who would you guys, as a Chiefs fan, or just a fan in general, you don't even have to be a Chiefs fan, just if you're the Chiefs, what do you do? Because they're the two biggest offseason free agents that you have to keep. I think you keep Sneed. That's yeah, a lot of you all on TikTok are saying Sneed. Yeah, I say Sneed. I say you got to shore up the back end. Don't get me wrong. Chris Jones is a game wrecker. But Chris Jones is also going to be 30 years old. Not that 30 is old, but in football terms, 30 years old. Are you wanting to sign that guy to a 5-year deal? Probably not. Probably not. I think they signed Snead. So I think you definitely got to keep Snead. I think he's the guy. I mean, again, not that you're going to go out in the draft and find another Chris Jones, because you're not. You're not going to do that. I mean, they will if they're lucky, but, I mean, is there a Chris Jones out there? Maybe. There might be. I think you got to find a way for it to keep both of them, but if I had my choices, I'd take Snead over Jones. So, and some people are saying that Jones gives them a chance to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, but McDuffie's only a second-year guy. He's not going nowhere. So, but Snead gave him a chance to win the Super Bowl. Let's not kid ourselves. Snead did too. Chase Young to Kansas City. The Chiefs aren't going to even touch Chase Young. Chase Young needs to figure it out, man. So much potential, but takes so many plays off. Doesn't give the constant effort. That's not a signing that the Chiefs want to do. They don't need that. They don't want that. So Sweat from Texas, we'll see. He's not Chris Jones. He's a run stuffer. He's not Chris Jones. He's not that guy. Good, but a run stuffer. A run stuffer. We'll find out, though. We will find out. My man David Gonzalez over on YouTube said, this is the Jets' year. I mean, the Jets, yeah. I mean, their O-line's still going to be bad. They're going to bring back Aaron Rodgers, who's going to badmouth everybody. It's just the owner has been pretty much just badmouthed everybody. That franchise is a disaster. So it's just a disaster. And my man Pat Cockrell, he says this. Come on, Big B. You know it's the Cowboys' year again. 28 years and counting. Cowboys' year. But yeah, one team that nobody's talking about is Cincinnati. Joe Burrow, first of all, Joe Burrow's injury prone. But Cincinnati has an opportunity. If they can keep their defense together, because their defense is still pretty good. And if Burrow can somehow stay healthy, I think they got a chance. I think that Cincinnati's got a chance. Now, I think they got to sign T. Higgins, or they get somebody else in the draft to replace him. They got to do that because they're going to lose him and Tyler Boyd. While Tyler Boyd is not a number one, he's a number two at best. I think they're both going to end up being gone from Cincinnati, so you got to figure out and replace those guys. So, yeah, my man Brandon said if Burrow can stay healthy, that defense is good, they've got the best chance. Yeah, I think so. But the big question has always been, can Burrow stay healthy? I mean, the man cannot stay healthy. That's been part of the problem. You know? And nobody blames anybody for being hurt. That's silly talk when you start blaming guys for being hurt. Nobody's doing that. However, you can say, hey, you are always hurt. I mean, they blame Lamar and said, Lamar, hey, you're always hurt. That was part of the issue with Lamar coming into the season. Can't stay healthy. Yes, you're right. Baby hands can't even stay healthy. My man Redneck Patriot, baby hands Pickett can't stay healthy. So, you know, Burrow's got to learn to stay. He's got to figure out a way. I shouldn't say learn because you can't learn to stay healthy. He's got to figure out a way to be able to stay healthy. And if he does, you got a chance. They got a chance. The Bengals, like I said, that defense is good. Nobody wants to talk about that. When they beat the Chiefs a couple years back, it was the defense that did it. The defense stopped Patrick Mahomes. That's what happened. It wasn't that Joe Burrow threw for 375 yards and just carved him up. That's not what happened. The defense stopped him. Patrick Mahomes played the worst half of football, definitely in the playoffs, maybe in his career, And the Bengals beat them. So we'll see. We will see what happens here with the Bengals. The Bengals, let's see. The Bengals, the Bills, the Ravens, the Lions. I still like the Lions in the NFC. I like the Lions because the Lions were basically got in their own way and caused a problem for themselves. Otherwise, the Lions are in the Super Bowl. And I don't think the 49ers can run it back. How many teams get back after you lose in the Super Bowl, get back? I mean, what's it been since the Buffalo Bills? So the Dolphins they got problems. The Dolphins still got to fix, first of all, their O-line. They got to get a better O-line. They were hurt, but their O-line wasn't great. Defense got to get better. So we'll see. Baltimore. A lot of people are saying Baltimore. The Broncos got better, but who's going to be the quarterback for the Broncos? There ain't no way Russell Wilson's going to be the quarterback. There ain't no way that he's going to be there. That relationship is over. So who's going to be the quarterback? Steelers will win their division. We'll see, man. We'll see. I'm not confident. Until I know who my Steelers quarterback's going to be, I'm not confident with anything. Until I know who the quarterback's going to be, I am not confident with anything. You're going to have to show me better than you can tell me. Because if you're telling me it's going to be Basket Case Tannehill or Baby Hands Pickett, I'm not confident. I'm not only am I not confident, I'm worried. I'm worried. So Kenny Pickett for sure won't win the division. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I heard today that the Steelers are talking about taking Bo Nix at number 20. I'm like, come on, man. What is Bo Nix versus Baby Hands Pickett? To me, it's the same person. That would be horrible. Whew. But here's the scary part, people. We're talking about the Chiefs three-peating. The Chiefs got an opportunity. Not only do they have an opportunity to three-peat, they got an opportunity to be good for a long time. They're going to end up drafting Travis Kelce's replacement. They're going to do that this year. Now, I'm not saying Kelce's going to retire after next year. He might even play 2 more years. Or maybe he just plays 1 more year. But they're going to draft his replacement. They're going to get another receiver. They're probably going to sign a free agent receiver. If not, they're going to draft a guy. You know the Chiefs, they might even move up to draft a guy. They're going to figure it out. Rashee Rice is only getting better. You heard him say basically the first third of the season, he was overwhelmed with being in the NFL, which a lot of guys are. Once he got over being overwhelmed, Rashee Rice was outstanding. You got the best player in the world. Their offensive line is still good. It's going to be tough to beat the Chiefs. It just is. And you're going to have to beat them because we thought this was the year. Okay, their receiving core is not any good. They got to go on the road. Their defense is really good, but they're not going to be able to make enough plays to win. Turns out, yeah, they were. Yeah, they were. They knew what they were doing on defense. Remember last year when the second half of the season, or basically the last quarter of the season, their secondary got good. Now, the numbers and the metrics didn't average out to be really good because they were awful at the beginning of the year. But basically the last quarter of the season, the Chiefs secondary became very good last year. And then this year they were just lights out all season. So we'll find out, but it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. So magically, somehow their receivers became good in the playoffs. Yeah. It's what happens. They're just good players, man. They're just good. But if they three-peat, they got an opportunity. They got just as good as opportunity as anybody. So I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. I think there are a number of teams that can get in their way, more in the AFC than the NFC. But we'll see. We will see. It's going to be a fun offseason, I should say. Going to be a fun offseason. My man David Gonzalez says Mike Tomlin could drag the Steelers to the playoffs with Tebow under center. Nobody cares about getting to the playoffs, though, David. Fine, you get to the playoffs and you have absolutely no chance of winning. What good does that do? I mean, that's the thing about Steeler fans. A lot of Steeler fans, they keep talking about, well, Mike Tomlin can get us to the playoffs with anybody, and he never has a losing record. Okay, but then what? Are we just okay with getting to the playoffs and getting our head beaten in? I would say no. Just making it to the playoffs and picking 22nd doesn't help. It never has helped. And I know a lot of you all, especially on TikTok, thought I was crazy for saying it's time for Mike Tomlin to go because we're not getting any better. And I've said it once and I'll say it again. The mediocrity is the death of your franchise. Mediocrity is the death of your franchise. So, and that's where the Steelers are at right now. They are locked into mediocrity. Let's move on, though. Let's move on. Again, as always, people, we are live on TikTok. We are live on YouTube. Thanks for the gift, by the way, Mr. Fitz. Life of Fitz. We know that guy. He's a good man. But Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time, live on TikTok, live on YouTube. As always, a Big B Daily Show. We appreciate everybody that comes in. Again, TikTok, keep tapping the screen. We need at least 5,000 likes and 30 follows. So we're a little short on the likes today, but that's okay. We got a little ways to go, man. We got a little ways to go. And hit that follow button. And also click on that YouTube link in my bio and come subscribe to Big B Sports Talk over on YouTube. Let's move on. So the parity in the NCAA, we're changing gears pretty big here. Talking about NCAA basketball. Y'all know I love college basketball. So NCAA basketball, the parity is insane. I saw a stat yesterday on TV that was absolutely incredible. This year, the top 10 teams in college basketball against unranked opponents are 34-34. Let me repeat that. The teams that are ranked in the top 10 this year are playing against unranked teams. They're 34-34 record. It is absolutely insane. And yes, away games are killing them. Nobody can win on the road. I mean, you look at a team like Kansas. Kansas has lost 5 games in the Big 12 already. They can't buy a road game. The only road game that Kansas has won in the Big 12. Now, don't get me wrong, the Big 12 is easily the best conference in the country. But the only road game that they've won is against Oklahoma State, who's awful. They lost at West Virginia. They lost at UCF. Kansas State got their brains beat in just on Monday against Texas Tech. They can't beat anybody on the road. And that's Kansas. We just saw it last night. North Carolina can't win at a mediocre Syracuse. Now, here's the thing. I love it. I absolutely love it. Is because college basketball, anybody can win. That's why I love it more than college football, because in college football, the same 6 or 7 teams always win. And 6 or 7 is a stretch. It's usually 3 to 5. In college basketball, anybody can win. Anybody can win. I mean, what did we see last year in the NCAA tournament? San Diego State, Florida Atlantic. UConn ended up winning it. I mean, we had all these teams. I'm like, yeah, I like that. And I don't care that the ratings were bad. I watched all of it. And people, oh, nobody's going to watch the rating. We want to see the blue bloods. Nah, man, I want to see good competitive college basketball. That's what I want to see. And if the different teams happen to show up and win, then different teams happen to show up and win. I don't care. I love it. Yes, a team will come out of nowhere and win it all, says my West Virginia fan over here on TikTok. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. I love it. And that's why, and don't get me wrong, I love college football. I love college football. But the NCAA tournament, outside of the NFL playoffs, is there anything better? I mean, seriously, is there anything better? And we're going to start talking more and more about college basketball now that we're in the middle of February. Valentine's Day. Don't forget to send your wife flowers or your girlfriend flowers. Please do that. Your significant other. Make sure you send them some flowers and some chocolates. Or you could be like me, your boy Big B. I sent mine a day early. Mine got here yesterday just to let my wife know I mean business. You know what I'm saying? 20 years of marriage, you got to think, people. You got to think. Think outside the box. And all that does, oh, man, he's really thoughtful. He's thinking about it. He wanted to send me before all the hoopla. He sent me flowers early. When in actuality, what it really was, they couldn't deliver. I waited too late for the delivery place, and they couldn't deliver it today, so they had to deliver it yesterday. She doesn't know that, though. She doesn't know that. So, but yeah, man, college basketball. I love college basketball. I love the parity. I love the fact that all these blue bloods are struggling on the road and struggling against just anybody when they go on the road. I think that's great for the game. I don't think, some people think it's bad for the game. I think it's great for the game. I think it is absolutely great for college basketball. So it is just a good thing. My man Pat Cockrell, as a K-State fan, how did you enjoy that ass whooping the Red Raiders gave the Jayhawks on Monday? I mean, I went to K-State. I love K-State, but I didn't grow up being a K-State fan. So the hatred for KU, it's deep. Don't get me wrong, but it's not crazy. So I didn't get that excited. Not to mention, I didn't think KU was going to win the game. So I didn't think KU was going to beat Texas Tech. You know, I've got a show that I do on Go Power Cat on YouTube. It's called the Big 12 Insiders. Matter of fact, go check that out at 1 p.m. today. It's on YouTube. Go check it out. And we had to do a show. I bring in people from all over the conference, and we talked to Texas Tech guy was telling me about how some guys were hurt, guys were sick. They went on a 3-game losing streak. Now they're back healthy, and here we go. So Indiana State is ranked. They're not going to be ranked long because they got their brains beat in at home last night. So Indiana State is about to be unranked. So South Carolina, this is why you know that the voters are finicky. How long did it take them to rank South Carolina? I mean, and they didn't just they went from unranked to 15. And then the next thing you know, now they're 11. I'm like, well, what did you all miss? Were you just not paying attention to who South Carolina was beating? I mean, it took them forever. I mean, they weren't ranked forever. They got ranked 2 weeks ago. Yeah, South Carolina was ignored. I'm like, what are we doing here? So it was insane. It was insane. But I like South Carolina's got a good basketball team. They got a good basketball team. So, yeah, the women's South Carolina team is really good too. They're really good too. And the difference between this team And last year's team, as far as the women of South Carolina, they got some shooters out there. Last year, they didn't have really any shooters, and it cost them. They got that this year. I'm not sure anybody's going to beat them. I'm not sure anybody's going to beat them. And we'll get into a different conversation about this later on, down the road once the tournament gets here. But I'll just bring this up real quick. Have y'all noticed that women's college basketball gets way more people pay attention than they do the WNBA? Have y'all ever noticed that? Because I have. Because I will watch a women's college basketball game. I will. And I won't watch a WNBA game. That's just me. Why is that? I don't know. Somebody's going to have to explain why I'll do that. But I won't watch a WNBA game. I just won't. But I will actually watch a women's college basketball game. It's crazy. I know. It's not as good as basketball. I know. But that's just me. That's the same reason why I'll watch college basketball. And when it comes to an NBA game, depending on who's playing, yeah, I'll watch it, but it depends on who's playing. But I'll watch a lot of college basketball, man. I will watch a lot of it. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's move on, people. Let's move on. Last segment. But again, as always, keep tapping the screen over on TikTok. We already hit over 6,000 likes. We might as well get that up to 10. And again, if you're not following, please give me a follow. But more importantly, click on the YouTube tab in my bio and come on over to YouTube and subscribe to Big B Sports Talk. So, my man David Gonzalez talking about college basketball. There's a built-in audience for college sports, college students and alumni, but not for professional sports. Those leagues have to earn an audience by being entertaining. But I'm not a built-in person. I'm not a built-in fan of women's college basketball, and I will watch. I'm not watching WNBA. I can't. Number one, WNBA is on at a horrible time. They can't figure out when they want to be on, and they need to condense the season and be over with by football season because nobody's going to watch the finals or pay attention to it because it's on at a bad time. That's just me. So, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's move on here. So Draymond Green is still Draymonding. Seems that he went to rehab after being suspended, and Draymond Green hasn't learned a damn thing, people. He has not learned a damn thing. He, of course, went on his podcast. He's bad-mouthing, just everybody. Talking about Juric isn't a good player, or Nurkic he's not good enough to be giving him the short symbol after scoring on him. He's doing his antics back on the court. It's just a matter of time. You guys know it. It's just a matter of time before he does something crazy again. He didn't learn anything. All that stuff that he lied about to us about being a better person and taking a deeper look at this and all of that stuff was just a flat out lie. It took what? 2 weeks? 2 weeks for Draymond to start Draymond again and turn back into his crazy self. Oh my goodness. It's just, I don't understand the mentality. Well, I take that back. I do understand the mentality because he's not that great of a basketball player. So he has to be this way in order to affect his team, which, God bless him, he's a pivotal part to what the Warriors do. I mean, they are a totally different team without him because he is an outstanding defensive player, and he's a good distributor of the basketball. He is. You can't take that away from him. But, man, they went on a streak without Draymond where they weren't going to make the playoffs. They've been one of the top 3 teams over the last 2.5 weeks in the NBA. Actually, 3 weeks. They've been one of the top teams in the league. He got a lot to do with that, man. So, Draymond needs to realize The only reason he's relevant is because he has Curry with him. You could say the same thing about Scottie Pippen. Now, I'm not saying Draymond's as good as Scottie Pippen, so please don't let me try to think that I'm trying to make that comparison. I'm just saying how good Scottie Pippen was without Michael Jordan. So, and yeah, he did run off Durant. There ain't no question about that. He ran off Durant. I'm just saying Draymond, he's back to Draymond. It's only a matter of time, people. It's just a matter of time. He's going to Draymond again, and it's going to be bad. And yeah, it's going to be bad. Something else is going to happen. The league is not going to suspend him again. They're going to start making excuses for him, and everybody's going to be pissed off. And that's what drives away people from the NBA. Now, don't get me wrong. Millions and millions and millions of fans watch the NBA. But a lot of people just get turned off by it because it's like, come on, man. Why the antics? We don't need the antics. So, yeah, at this point, Draymond's going to knock somebody out. He is. He's crazy. And I'm over it. I'll be honest with you. I'm completely over it with Draymond. Just over it. He's going to do what he does. He's going to act like he acts. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he got lucky by teaming up with Clay and Steph. He maximized his potential, which no power to him. I mean, you can't fault him for that. So, sound like I'm hating on Draymond, or am I telling the truth? That's the problem with young generation of people. If you tell the truth, then you're hating. I just don't understand the ignorancy of that. Nobody can tell the truth anymore unless you're hating. Well, okay, I'm hating on Draymond. There you go. And what? What does that mean? I'm a hater? Okay. Now what? What's that mean? I just, people get on my nerves with the nonsense, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Draymond doing his thing. It's just a matter of time. I don't mind the crazy play. I mind the antics. I mind the antics. So, but it is what it is. People don't want to hear the truth, Big B, says my man Pat Cockrell on YouTube. That's just unfortunately where we're at today. Yeah, you're right. People don't like hearing the truth. So, who gave me the doctor power? My live. That's what gave me the power. So, and you know, when you're on your live and somebody comes in and they get on their phone and they're watching you, and then they say, who gave you the power to do something? I gave myself the power. And apparently I got the power over you because you came in here to complain to me. So, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Draymond getting older and slower. That's the only way he stopped guys from scoring. I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to go that far yet with Draymond because I still think Draymond's a great defender. I'm not going to go that far. I just think he is getting a little slower, and on the offensive end, he gets so disrespected. So I think that's partly where it is. I think that's partly where it is. He gets so disrespected, and then he's got to bring out the antics to try to up that. So, but that's partly where it is. I get it. I get it. Draymond's a good defender. He's also a product of a system that fits him. Absolutely. Just like I said, he got lucky but he maximized that luck. He got lucky, but he took advantage of it. There ain't nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. The man's turned himself into a multi-millionaire. He's probably worth $90 to $100 million. He got lucky to get drafted where he got drafted, but you know what? Good for him. Can't hate on that. So cannot hate on that. Let's see here. Man, these are glasses my wife bought me a while back, Mike DeRuler. We went to the Kentucky Derby a couple years ago. My wife bought me these glasses for the Derby. I like them. I like them. They're going to come out soon for Goon Squad. And on Goon Squad t-shirts, y'all going to like what they look like. They got little glasses in there. Y'all are going to like what they look like, man. And everybody will have to get one. So, Draymond is not an old school player. Those guys did not play like that. Stop. Stop the nonsense. So, he's a reliable defender and a reliable offender, says my man David Gonzalez about Draymond. Yeah, you're right. He's a reliable defender and he's a reliable offender because you know something is coming. You know something is coming. So the league needs Draymond. The league's too soft without him. Is Draymond tough or is Draymond dirty? Because there's a huge difference. I mean, is Draymond really tough? I mean, tough guys push people around, fight people, is an enforcer. Is he doing that or is he just being dirty? Because there's a difference. There is a huge difference. So I'm not sure. It's a fine line, but I wouldn't say Draymond's an enforcer. And I'm not sure that he's tough. But that's just me. That's my opinion. People are going to have a different opinion. He's an entertainer. Absolutely. 100%. 100% he's an entertainer. I agree with that wholeheartedly. But yeah, Draymond, he just kind of is what he is, man. He is what he is. He's an okay basketball player. A lot of people say he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm like, come on, man. What are we doing? I don't even think he's a Hall of Famer, but I think the NBA puts in everybody, so he'll get in. He'll absolutely get in. So, but to tell me that he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, I'm like, okay. Somebody tried to tell me he was a top 20 power forward of all time. I'm like, oh my God. That was yesterday somebody tried to say that. Oh my God. What are we talking about? Top 20 all time? Jiminy Christmas. That's just crazy. Just crazy. He should be in the UFC. I don't know. I don't know. I saw Draymond Green play football. Yeah, he has no place in the UFC. I saw Draymond play football. I know y'all have seen that clip of him at Michigan State in a spring game. Yeah, he's not built for that. So the UFC, he's definitely not built for the UFC. He ain't built for football. So no. No. Mr. Triple Single. Yeah. Let's move on, people. We're going to break it down to the open mic session. Let's get out of this Draymond topic because we could go on forever. And you're going to have your defenders. You're going to have your people that are haters. I'm one of those haters, apparently. I can live with that. I can live with it. But to say Draymond plays like the old school, yeah, whatever. No, he don't. Somebody brought up talking about Wilt and Nate Thurman. You think that Draymond Green is in the same class as Wilt, Nate Thurman, and Bill Russell? Stop talking basketball. Just stop. So, But let's move on, people. What are my thoughts about the Steelers? Man, I don't know. The Steelers got to have a quarterback. That's the thing. My Steelers got to get a quarterback. Until we do, we're not going to do anything. We're not going to do a thing. So until we get that settled, it is what it is. And Baby Hands Pickett is not the guy. He's just not the guy. So he's just not the guy. The Steelers only have one on the roster. Okay, well, we got to go get somebody. We got to go get somebody. Baby Hands he's not the guy, man. So I think the Steelers need to avoid over trading for Justin Fields. I think giving the Bears a third-round pick would be fine. Anything over a third-round pick, the Steelers shouldn't do that. Second-round pick, nope. First-round pick, absolutely not. Third-round pick, I can live with that. Anything above a third-round pick, no. No. That they shouldn't do that. So, third and a fifth, no. No. The Steelers, here's the thing. The Steelers, they still need players. So it's not like the Steelers don't need any players anywhere. They still got to have some they still have holes to fill. For instance, we need a new center. We need a right tackle. We need another corner to start opposite Joey Porter Jr. You know, we need some guy. We probably need another safety to play outside. We definitely need some middle linebackers. My goodness. I mean, all of our middle linebackers went out with horrible injuries. We had 3 of them that all got seriously hurt that probably won't be ready to play next year. So that we need middle linebackers like it's going out of style. So, and a coach, well, we're not getting a new coach, so let that go. Yeah, we just need the Steelers need some players, which the draft will help, free agency will help, but it all starts with the quarterback. If we can't get the quarterback right, it doesn't matter what we have. It doesn't matter what we have. So, and Mason Rudolph, where as good as he played down the stretch, he's a backup quarterback. He might play himself into getting a contract somewhere and getting an opportunity to start. It's not going to be in Pittsburgh, unfortunately, although it could be, but I don't think he's the long-term answer either. Justin Fields could be that. I know there's talk about Russell Wilson. I don't think Russell Wilson's the long-term answer, although I wouldn't be mad if Russell Wilson was the quarterback, but he's not going to play 10 years for the Steelers, and that's what the Steelers need. They need a guy that's going to be there for a decade. Jimmy G. Don't you start with me this morning. Jimmy G. Kirk Cousins. I mean, Kirk Cousins would be outstanding in a Steelers uniform. With the weapons that the Steelers have, he would be outstanding. The problem is, how long is Kirk Cousins going to play? He's coming off an Achilles injury. That has to matter. At an advanced age, that has to matter. Although we saw him dancing, at the awards show, so he looks like he's getting back. But I just think he's not going to play a decade for sure. Baker Mayfield. I wouldn't mind Baker Mayfield. I know people are going to laugh. I wouldn't mind Baker Mayfield. Baker's always good when he has a decent O-line, a running game, and he's got some weapons. He had that this year in Tampa, and look how well he played. He would have that. So, quarterback from Washington, Penix, no. I don't like Penix or Nix. I don't like them. They were in college systems where guys were always wide open, throwing to wide open receivers. They weren't just threading the needle, throwing guys open. They weren't doing that, especially Penix. Penix had 3 NFL receivers on his team. Guys were wide open. So that's the problem there. That's the problem there. So we'll see what happens with the Steelers, man. We will see. We'll see what happens. What we got going over here on YouTube? The Steelers, if the Steelers win it all next year, you have to do an episode that's just plain clips of you saying Tomlin's got to go. Pickett's not good enough, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I don't need to do a show about that. I can just be wrong. And you know what? I will be happy to be wrong. If the Steelers are great and Baby Hands Pickett plays outstanding, y'all can all say, Big B, you are wrong. And I will say, you know what? You're right. I was wrong. But my team is winning. I could care less. Prove me wrong. Baby Hands Pickett, prove me Wrong. That's what I want you to do. I want you to prove me. So Penix, somebody's saying that his most important throws of the year were not wide, I'm assuming open. Well, I watched the Michigan game, and he didn't look good. So Penix is not, I mean, again, I want Penix to be good because I don't want any player to be bad. I don't want any player to be bad. But I know what I saw, and I know where he struggled, and I don't want that guy to be my quarterback of Pittsburgh Steelers. That's what I'm saying. Period. End of story. Trey Lance, we don't even know if Trey Lance can play football. I think Trey Lance was the product of being over-evaluated in college and everybody thinking that he was going to be good based on a tiny sample size that we saw in college. He got to the pros. He was average at best. Then he got hurt, and he never got another shot, and he couldn't beat out Sam Darnold for a backup job in San Francisco. It's not really the guy that I want to be my starting quarterback. So no, that's not somebody that I really want to be my starting quarterback. But that's just me talking. That's just me talking. So we're going to shut this one down today, man. I appreciate everybody being here. Thank you guys for joining the Big B Daily Show. Again, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time, live on TikTok, live on YouTube, man. We appreciate everybody being here. Next time, tell a friend. Come on in. Have them join the show. We'll be back tomorrow to do it better. Aloha, people.